Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this evening, Ed Montana. As you can tell, I am no longer flying solo. Back from the great north. You were north, right?
I was.
Back from the great north.
Northeast.
My brother from the same mother. My brother Alex. Alex, how you doing?
What is up, man? Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back, bro.
It felt like an eternity. It felt like a long layoff.
Yeah, it does. It's amazing. Like, just doing one episode without you, I felt like, man.
You did well. You did well.
Oh,
I enjoyed the episode, and I
you.
hope you guys did too. Now, if you haven't checked it out, you should go check it out on YouTube, Podbean, Google Play, and iTunes. Episode number 38. Go check it out. If you're a first-time listener, go check us out. Follow Ed on Twitter at eMontana21. Follow myself, me, Alex, on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho, and come along for the ride.
Subscribe, like, comment. I did get some heat about the episode last week. So apparently, and it's funny because I don't notice this stuff until someone says so. But apparently, I say we've come to the end of another wonderful episode.
Yeah.
Like 5 times. So we've come to the end, and we've come to the end, and we've come to the end. And every time it's a wonderful episode, but we've come to the end 5 times, and I think people are like, hey, man, just fucking come to the end once. Stop coming to the end.
Just end it.
Just end it once. But you know what I'm doing? I'm doing what MLB's doing. Right? Today was the end of the season, but it's not. It's not the end of the season.
It's not.
Tomorrow will be the end of the season.
Oh, God. Here we go.
This game 163. I'm so excited.
Look, there's nothing better than the extra play. Well, it's not a playoff game. It's 100. This is the 163rd
right.
game.
This is not a playoff game. The wild card game that they will play on Tuesday or Wednesday is a playoff game.
I have an issue here. Look,
I swear to God, as soon as I saw that they were all tied last night, and we could potentially get 2, not 1, but 2 163 games, I thought, please, sweet baby Jesus, let there be 2 of these games, just so Alex can have a fit about game 163, which is, by the way, not a playoff game. Not the wild card game.
And this counts.
And it counts.
For stats.
The wild card game is a playoff game. But this game tomorrow, game 163, is not a playoff game.
Stats count.
These are regular season stats.
Regular season stats. I'm all for more games, more, one game, tiebreaker games, right? Mm-hmm. I'm all for that. But this year I have a huge issue with. Okay? I have an issue with this.
Well, it's not. It's one more game for the regular season.
Do you know how many times the freaking Cubs and the Brewers play? Do you know how many times?
19.
19. Do you know what kind of number that is? It's an odd number. Okay, I passed 3rd grade. That's an odd number. Okay, I don't need to see them play a 20th time to see who wins the freaking division. I don't.
Well, you do because
No. Then you take their head-to-head records
as a tiebreaker.
Yes, absolutely. I don't want to see extra games to decide who wins. You know what? Look, it's not fair. It's not fair for a team like the Rockies.
Why?
Because they have to now fly out to LA,
right,
and then possibly fly back to Chicago or Milwaukee. No, to Chicago.
Or Milwaukee. Right? Because
if they win the division.
So the winners of the game tomorrow win their divisions. And they go on into the NLDS.
Right.
The losers play the wild card game in the city of the Central Division team because the Cubs and Brewers will both have a better record than the Dodgers and the Rockies. So you're right. The Rockies are flying to LA tonight, right? Because they
play tomorrow.
And yeah, they won. It is kind of rough for them because they won at home against the Nationals today. They have to fly out to LA tonight if they lose that game, then they have to fly back across the country
it's
to
not
Milwaukee
fair.
or Chicago to play one more game.
It's not fair.
To play a playoff game. By
It's
the way,
not a playoff game. Quit saying that.
All of these teams are in the playoffs. But they're going to play one more regular season game because they don't know where they are seated in the playoffs.
In the playoffs. This is crazy. This is
I think I kind of agree with you. If all 4 teams are in the playoffs, then just go with head-to-head or some other metric.
I mean, you play an odd number of head-to-head matchups for this reason. I thought it was for this reason, for a tiebreaker.
Well, apparently not. No, I don't think it's. I don't think baseball did it for this reason. I think the reason it works out this way is because of scheduling with other divisions and the interleague and whatnot. Because it wasn't this way before interleague. So I think that's the issue.
Yeah, I have an issue. It's definitely an issue. Alex has an issue with this.
Well, tomorrow is the end. So we've come to the end.
It's not the end.
No, but today was.
It continues tomorrow.
Today was the end of the regular season for a lot of teams.
2018 or 2016.
Right. So we've come to the end of a wonderful regular season of baseball. And when you see me tomorrow, about 7 o'clock at night, I will say we have come to the end of a wonderful regular season. It has been a wonderful regular season. The American League, like I said, has been set for a long time, but I'm excited. You know, I am rubbing my hands together. Now I get what I want.
What? Hold on a sec. See, this is where I have another issue. Alex has issues today. I came back with a lot of issues, guys, in case you don't know.
You had issues long before this baseball season.
No, yes. I mean...
Mostly between the ears.
No. Listen.
And on top of your head.
Is this what you want as a fan? You want the A's possibly beating the Yankees and then having to play the Red Sox? This is not what we want. This is not what baseball wants. Baseball, you know what baseball wants.
No, yeah, absolutely. Baseball wants the Yankees and the Red Sox to play each other, and you know if they had it their way, they'd play each other in the World Series. But look, I think the A's are a very worthy opponent. The A's are a very good baseball team. I think we're going to see a good baseball game whenever the regular season ends.
They play Wednesday.
They play Wednesday?
They play Wednesday.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they play Wednesday.
But so yeah, you know, I think that's going to be a heck of a wild card game. I think it's going to be good. Both teams have, you know, they clinched that spot a while back, so they've set their rotation the way they see fit, and you know we're going to get the best version of the Yankees, hopefully, and the best version of the A's, and
I hope there's no hands. Hands put in, you know.
You hope there's no one playing the piano?
Yes, exactly. I hope there's nobody in the background, you know.
Playing the piano.
Yeah, you know, the string, what do you call it? Yeah, puppeteer. There you go. Yeah. I hope none of that.
That's different from playing the piano.
Well, you know what I meant.
We're playing the piano.
I
don't see what the piano has to do with baseball.
Probably nothing. Yeah, I'd rather.
You are such a conspiracy theory guy.
You know what? Yeah, I'm not, but I am. In this case, I really am.
Well, you were back when we were talking about the NCAA tournament, and
oh yeah, definitely.
And
well, there's a lot of fixings going on there.
See, and you said it a few weeks ago about the whole Ohio State thing, and like you're full of conspiracy theories. Do you think that's something that comes with age?
I'm still pretty young.
Yeah, but not really. You're an old fart at heart.
Well, you can't call someone 10 years younger than you old as a fart.
I didn't say old.
What did you say?
You're an old fart.
Yeah, exactly.
What? I can call you old just because I think. Hold on, just because I think you're old. That doesn't say anything about me.
Yeah, but you're older than I am.
Maybe I think I'm old too. Damn near 50.
You might as well say 50. You're on that side of the decade.
No.
You're on that side of the decade.
No. You can't say 50. Damn near 50.
Sounds like you're 50 to me, brother.
But regardless of that, calling you old, it's got nothing to do with what I said about me. I didn't say anything about me. I just said you're an old fart.
Okay. All right.
You're an old fart at heart.
I'll let you slide.
An old fart. Man, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because even like a new, fresh fart, not good.
Well, you shouldn't call me like a stink bomb or something.
Stink bombs are okay because they're
Those stink.
Yeah, but they're fake, right? But a fart.
You'll be surprised,
Someone
man.
did it on purpose.
Some people smell like stink bombs.
This is true, man. This show has gotten off the rails.
All right, so
let's talk about it. Let's talk about the regular season still because we still have. We've come to the end of a wonderful regular season, but tomorrow there's more regular season to play. So let's start with the first game is the Brewers at Chicago. The Brewers have not named a starter yet.
They have not.
And the Cubs are going with Quintana. That doesn't sound good to me.
He's pitched fairly well for them. He's got like a 3-point-something ERA.
4.09.
Oh.
Yeah, not good. And he's only 4.13-11. So.
I said Cole Hamels was the wild card, and I'm wondering why is he not pitching that game?
Yeah, I haven't been paying close attention.
Or maybe they just don't care if they get the wild card or the division, and they're saving him for the first game.
That's part of the thing with this.
Right?
With this, that's part of the funny thing about this game 163. It'll be very interesting to see. Look, it's better to play a series than it is to play the darn wild card game, right? Yeah. Because one game and you're done, possibly. But at the same time,
you don't want to have to play that.
If I'm the Cubs or the Dodgers, right? The Cubs won in 2016. The Dodgers made it to the World Series in 2017. They're both fairly healthy. The Dodgers will probably a little less so than the Cubs. But do you really care if you're those teams? I mean, you've proven you can make it through the grind of the playoffs. What's one more game?
Yeah, I guess.
And maybe that's what the Cubs are thinking here. Because even the Dodgers are going with that young kid Buehler.
Which he's been pretty good.
But he's been really good, right? So in a way, it kind of works out well. And part of it too is, hey, these teams haven't had a chance to set their rotation. The Dodgers, more so than the Cubs, the Dodgers have been fighting for a playoff spot really up until Thursday or Friday, right?
And to your credit, they finally, in a way, pulled away.
Well, they pulled away from Arizona.
Right, yeah, but they're in it.
And the Cardinals.
Because for a minute, they were kind of looking out.
No, and they looked really, they swept the Rockies.
That's right.
Hats off to the Rockies who got swept and came back and played really good baseball and, got their spot in the
playoffs.
They're in the playoffs, but also in game 163.
Yes.
Which is a regular season game.
Correct.
So we've come to the end of the regular season, but we've got...
the end is near.
Well, maybe. I mean, in baseball, it's not uncommon for games to go 25 innings.
That's right.
Can you imagine you get a 25 inning extra inning game?
On the 163rd game?
Yeah, for one of them.
Jeez.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Do you know Charlie Blackmon of the Rockies hit a cycle on the 162nd game, the first player to ever do so?
Wow, that's awesome. There have been a lot of cycles this year.
Well, Yelich has had 4. Two.
Yeah. Speaking of Yelich, MVP?
Why the fuck not?
I mean,
they've dude, they've rode him into the playoffs.
Yeah. And numbers. Baseball's always driven by the numbers, right?
Yes.
But this guy has just beyond turned it on in the last month of the season.
When another playoff team like the Cardinals has to walk you 5 times,
oh my goodness! It just
Then you are valuable to the Brewers.
You've done something.
10 walks in 4 games. 9.98 OPS.
Who was the last guy that got walked that much?
I don't. Barry Bonds.
Yeah, it's got to be, right? It's got to be.
So when you're in that company, then
leads the league in batting average. Came in second in the home run race.
He had a chance at the Triple Crown.
Yeah, tied for second in the home run race.
That's amazing.
I mean,
he's really come out of nowhere this last month.
I mean, let's talk about who the MVP could be. Yelich and Baez. Right? Baez has led the league in RBIs.
Arenado can't really.
Yeah, Arenado's
he's
been
pretty
really
worthy. And he's an excellent third baseman too.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. That's gonna be an interesting race.
I hope he doesn't choke it up here on the 163rd game.
Who?
Yelich.
Or Arenado, really.
Yeah.
Or Baez.
Or damn.
I mean, jeez. And the Dodgers have offense for days, but that bullpen. Don't go to sleep during the Dodgers game tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because it doesn't matter. If they're up 6-0 in the 6th inning, hey, it just got started.
And the Rockets can put up runs. So
They sure can.
I think we're gonna see some these are gonna be two very well played games. I don't think they're gonna go in there thinking, well, we'll just settle for, the wild card game. I think these teams are going to, and look, when you look at their managers too, these are pretty good managers. Madden, Roberts, Counsell. Well, Counsell's like probably the odd one out, right? Because he's young.
He's young, but he's a student of the game.
Yeah.
He was when he was a player, and he, very much so as a manager, and he's pushed all the right buttons with the Brewers all year.
Yes.
So, it's been good. Since we're talking postseason awards and stuff, for the Cy Young, I'm gonna sound like a homer.
It's
got to be
no
DeGrom.
Homer. It's no Homer.
I mean, I understand he doesn't have the wins, but my goodness, he is just.
He's been
incredible.
sick all year,
and quite frankly, Scherzer deserves a lot of pub for Cy Young. 300 strikeouts, man, in today's game does not happen a lot. Again, starters don't pitch as many innings as they used to, and he's had an amazing season. And Aaron Nola's been good, but I think he's a solid third out of that group. To me, it's between Scherzer and DeGrom.
And even then, bro, in the last 2 to 3 weeks, DeGrom has really pulled away.
Yeah,
I think.
Scherzer
has given up 3-4 runs here and there.
He's half a run better.
That's a lot.
That's
over 30 starts for your team.
That's ridiculous. In the National League, he is 0.67 runs ahead of Aaron Nola and 0.83 ahead of Scherzer. That's just ridiculous. Those are ridiculous numbers. I think it's DeGrom's I think it's DeGrom's. I can see an argument for Scherzer. I can't really see an argument for Nola.
I think there's no doubt DeGrom gets it. The voters can't be that.
I wouldn't say
that
I wouldn't say no doubt. You always got to be. Look, Scherzer's had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
Let's not. I understand that we're both DeGrom fans,
but the dominance of DeGrom start.
Scherzer's got 18 wins.
Oh yeah,
I'm not a big wins guy, but he's got 18
right,
of
right.
them.
But when DeGrom has dominated, bro, all year long.
Look,
he's dominated every start.
I understand that, but Scherzer's WHIP is 0.91, just like DeGrom. So
they got the same WHIP.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
You can't poo-poo Scherzer's
numbers,
I'm
not.
You know what I mean?
But...
And would I be shocked if Scherzer won it? No. Do I think DeGrom should win it? Yes. Am I a little bit of a homer? Probably. If I weigh it all out, I'm not gonna be upset either way, and I can see the argument either way. Wow. So that's just my point there. I agree with you though that I think DeGrom should win it. In the American League,
who's gonna win the Cy Young?
Well, it's got to be Snell.
Snell, right?
Snell's
20-game winner.
$1.89 on the ERA.
He's had a freaking good season.
He has had a hell of a season as well.
And I thought it was a fluke because at the All-Star break, he was like, 11-1 or something like that? He had a crazy
he's
first half
21-5.
He had a crazy first half record, and I thought that was a fluke.
Now, the thing that I don't like about Snell is, and I guess this is my own hang-up, he plays in that revamped Tampa Bay system, right?
Okay.
So he's only got 180 innings pitched. Hasn't even pitched 200. By comparison, Scherzer's got 220, and DeGrom's got 219.
Right. So how many of those wins did the bullpen secure for you? Right.
Right, and
after only pitching 3 innings.
Right. It's a double-edged sword. Right. I'm sure he's got some no decisions that the bullpen pissed away for him. So, but again, I go back to the one number that I think he can control almost completely, and that's ERA. 189. His WHIP is 0.97.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty darn good. You've got Trevor Bauer.
If not, who do you give it to?
Trevor Bauer's had a good season, but he missed a few starts, and his WHIP is 109, which is not terrible, but it's a big difference from .97. And then you've got Verlander. Verlander hasn't missed any starts. Verlander's pitched 215 innings. Verlander's WHIP is 0.90. He struck out 290 batters.
Damn.
Verlander's got some numbers. And oh, by the way, he plays for a team with 103 wins.
What's his win-loss?
He's 16-9.
I mean,
which
that's good. That's good enough, right there.
That's good enough. So, in my opinion, it comes down to Verlander and Snell. I just can't get over 21 wins and a 1.89 ERA.
Yeah.
I'll poo-poo the wins, but it's hard to poo-poo the 189.
Huh? That should be a. See, that's gonna be a more tighter Cy Young race in the American League.
And you've also got Garrett Cole from the Astros. 15-5. 200 innings, 276 strikeouts, 1.03 WHIP. Yeah,
and he came over from the National League to the American League.
That's right.
The
big adjustment.
Right.
It's so much harder to pitch in the American League.
Yeah.
Well, apparently not for Garrett Cole. So, I mean, he's been... There's a lot of good conversation in the American League for Cy Young. And probably the only one that would shock me would be if it was Bauer. Only because he missed some time. And not that that's a big deal, but when you compare it to guys who do have 30-plus starts,
Sale would shock me, too, if he won.
Sale missed too much. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he had good numbers. He had decent numbers.
Yeah, but they're hard to compare because he wasn't around all season.
Yeah, he didn't pitch much the last month or so.
No, and I'm not sold on Sale. I don't think Sale's in that conversation.
Well, that's Alex's juju working because that was my preseason Cy Young
I
pick.
figured we'd wait until after the season to bash each other over the head over our terrible picks of winning divisions and Cy Youngs and MVPs. Yeah, well, Sale's numbers aren't bad, but 158 innings pitched, only 27 starts. His WHIP is 0.86.
Damn, what's his win-loss and ERA?
He's 12-4, 2.11 ERA. I'll tell you what,
damn,
he better be healthy for the Red Sox come the postseason. They're gonna need him.
Look, the Red Sox have a very good offense, but that pitching is very questionable. Well, and Price, and you don't know what you're going to get out of Price either. Price is Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, he is. Very much so.
After that, I don't know who the hell they got. And their bullpen is not that good.
Porcello's been good throughout the season, and you've got Chris Sale. So if those three guys come forward, you got a problem if you play against them, especially with that offense. MVP in the American League? I mean, jeez.
Okay, see... Mookie Betts, J.D. Martinez, I cancel them out. They're going to take votes away from each other. Francisco Lindor, Jose Ramirez, they're going to take votes away from each other. So I have no idea.
Well, hold on. You're done?
Well, I can't.
Alex Bregman's got to be in that conversation.
Yeah? Yeah, he does.
Alex Bregman. And Mike Trout's got to be in the conversation, although less so because his team is so far behind it. I'm not saying he wasn't valuable.
And he missed games. He still has 31, 34 home runs.
He did miss some games, but I mean he's got 39 home runs, only 80 RBIs. His OPS is 1088. Mookie Betts won the batting title by 16 points over J.D. Martinez. Tough.
Quick shout out to that guy that caught Giancarlo Stanton's home run ball the other night. I mean, if you're a Boston Red Sox fan, that's got to be so awesome. He catches the home run ball, and Stanton is rounding second, and by that time, the guy already freaking threw the ball. Yeah, he chucked
from the Green Monster.
Yes, and it bounced and hit him on the shoulder over here.
Right.
And that was hilarious.
I'm not gonna lie. I've often wondered how long before stadiums crack down on that throwing the ball back. Because I've seen it. I've been to a game where the fans threw it back and almost hit the left fielder because the left fielder wasn't paying attention.
Right.
And they just threw it and it almost hit him. Like almost hit him in the head. It whizzed right by his head.
So you think this will spark
I think this is going to spark
permanent ejection?
I think this is going to spark security.
Yeah.
Again.
You could be right.
And rightfully so, because again, if you get some knucklehead,
yeah, that's had a few too many.
right, and he throws it,
right. Yeah, you're completely right.
You never know.
I still thought it was cool that he reached him.
That's a hell of a throw from back. Now, mind you, he's got he's up 37
True.
feet or however tall the Green Monster is.
And it's not that far either.
That's right. The Green
right?
Monster's not exactly the deepest
Fenway's
left
not
field.
exactly
Not huge at all.
right.
Yeah, but it was. I must admit,
I chuckled.
I chuckled.
Yeah.
I don't like it, especially because of what it may. I don't like the fans being able to contact the players because I think it's a problem. Speaking of which, did you see the thing with Neymar?
No.
So
he flopped.
No.
They went to the VAR.
No.
Neymar.
No. But something similar. Late in the game, he's playing for PSG in a French league game. Late in the game, he gets subbed out, and he's walking off the field. And this kid who is, if I had to guess, I'd say 10, 11 years old, runs out on the field crying to meet Neymar. And he gestures to his T-shirt asking Neymar for his jersey. And the kid is harmless, right? He's harmless. He walks over there and he's like so happy to see Neymar, to be that close to him, ask him for his jersey, and just kind of walks with him. And Neymar kind of puts his arm around him. And he's like, oh, nice kid, whatever. And security rushes in, right? And Neymar kind of waves off security. He's like, no, that's okay. It's just a kid. He gets to the sideline. Once he gets off the field, he takes off his jersey and gives it to the kid. But you just don't know. You don't know. All I have to say, 2 words. Monica Seles. Right? It was just some casual guy who hopped over and stabbed her. Yeah. And I mean, these players, you just never know when it comes to fans. Fan is short for fanatic. Yeah. You got to be careful. It's kind of scary in a way.
Well, you kind of in a way too. With all this tightened up security at the gate and all that, we won't see that. So I think. In this case, the players, or in Neymar's case, he feels comfortable,
Yeah, but
giving the kid a hug.
You just never know.
Plus, it's a kid.
Yeah, it's a kid until he's a kid of a rival fan and he stabs Neymar.
That's not funny. Well, I just laughed.
I mean, imagine how many times Neymar would roll around if he got stabbed.
Oh my God! I mean, they blow on him right now.
I mean, when the kid was crying, I think one of the tears hit Neymar. I'm surprised he didn't fall.
Oh my God! Hit his foot and he just started jumping up and down.
Jumping up and down. I don't know. It's one of those things. It makes me a little bit nervous. It makes me a little bit nervous, that whole thing. So it's between we've talked about this MVP thing and we have no idea. To me, it's between Betts and Martinez. But man, you can't. Jose Ramirez.
There's like 6 players in the American League that have a chance.
I think I see a delineation between, albeit slight, I see a small drop off between Betts, Martinez, and Ramirez, and Lindor and Bregman.
You know what?
And then further down.
You know what? Shame on us. Like I said, Betts JD Martinez cancel each other out. They're going to take votes away from each other. Hold on.
Yeah.
Francisco Lindor and Jose Ramirez, they're going to take votes away from each other. Bregman is a very good candidate, and it should be between him and Chris Davis of the A's.
Oh my goodness, there's another one.
Yes, it should be between them two.
The funny thing about baseball, right? And their season is over. His season has come to an end, so it's official.
Who's that?
Chris Davis. His regular season. He has come to the end of a wonderful regular season.
To go into the postseason.
Right. He hit 247 for the third straight year in a row.
How do you do that?
You get a base hit 247 out of every 1,000 at bats.
All right, math major. I didn't need you to implement your math wisdom.
You asked me a question, I gave you an answer. I'm real big on the English language. You ask me a question, I answer it.
Touche.
Isn't that incredible?
Really? 247.
We've done a disservice by not talking about that guy because he leads the league in home runs. He's got 47?
I think it should be 47. I think it should be between Bregman and Chris Davis.
I think
it's only right.
I think East Coast bias will give it to Betts. He's the sexier pick of the two between him and JD Martinez. Not to say that JD Martinez is not sexy, not that I would know, but
yeah, that didn't sound right. You shouldn't say that.
That he's not sexy?
Yes. Or more sexier. Or that Betts is sexier than Martinez.
Betts is the sexier pick. I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, okay.
He's a sexier pick.
All right, just making sure,
not
bro.
A
That's all.
Man.
Just making sure.
Look, I'm sure there's a lot of people that think Betts is sexier than JD Martinez.
Possibly. But their numbers are the same.
No, I'm talking about just in general.
Oh.
But I'm sure there's a lot of people that think JD Martinez is sexier than Mookie Betts.
Yo, JD Martinez
is sexy.
I mean, the way he played last year with the Diamondbacks and the Tigers, the season he had, to come back and do it again.
He's good.
On the first year of his new contract? It's amazing.
I know, usually that first year of the new contract is the kiss of death.
Yeah.
That's like 60-day DL over and over and over again.
Damn. So who you got? Colorado, Dodgers?
For the end of the regular season?
For the end of the regular season.
I think the Dodgers will win tomorrow, and I think the Brewers will win. And then I think it'll be Colorado at Chicago, and I think Colorado will knock Chicago out. And then we will have Colorado against Milwaukee and the Braves against the Dodgers. I think it's going to be the Braves and the Dodgers, and I think the Dodgers will go back to the World Series.
Wow.
Just like that. Off the top of my head, I broke it down for you.
I think you're
wrong.
What
do you think?
That's too far ahead. I'm going with the Dodgers and the Cubs.
You think both home teams do it tomorrow?
Both home teams win, yes.
No, that never happens.
Plus, the Brewers haven't even announced the pitcher, so as of now, they're not throwing nobody in the bullpen.
Dude, TBD.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy can deal.
He's got a
He's got no record.
0.00.
He's got a 0 ERA. He must be pretty good. He's got no wins, no losses. His WHIP is 0 as well.
Cy Young candidate then.
He doesn't have the starts.
No.
He never has the starts.
Never has the starts.
That's the problem.
All right, so you want to move on to? Is that it for baseball? Did we cover everything in baseball?
We've talked enough baseball.
I think right. That's it. There's nothing. I mean,
where were you this weekend?
I was in Virginia.
Did you get one of those T-shirts? I remember those T-shirts when we were kids. I used to see them when people used to go to Virginia. Virginia is for lovers. Did you get one of those?
No. I've never seen those before.
You've never seen those?
No, I was about to buy me a pack of Virginia Slims.
You don't smoke.
I know, but it would have been fitting.
And you're not selling.
Yes, I am. On camera, I am.
Only because you sit sideways.
Yeah, so I was in Virginia. Got a surprise visit we got a surprise visit from our daughter who did the whole boot camp thing for the Navy, and she came down and visited us for a few days. And then she's like, "Yeah, Mom and Dad, I want to get a car." I'm like,
"Oh, that's always fun."
And
That's a great conversation.
it's fun, but I mean, when you have like 2 days to buy a car, I'm like, okay, well, how are we gonna do this? It was
break out the checkbook.
Yeah, well, that's why she gets paid doing what she does. When we decided to drive her back, help her drive back to Virginia, and I tell you,
did you get her a car?
We got her a car.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
good.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
she wasn't driving with us. You get your own car.
But then you put the miles on your car anyway?
No, we didn't. We rented a car. So that's a brutal drive, man. 27 hours. No, not 27. 21, 22 hours. I know. That's a heck of a drive.
You know what's funny about that drive is that's almost the same drive we made, you and I,
Yeah.
10 years ago to drive our parents down here.
Shit. To the date almost.
Almost.
24th, 25th.
So how funny is that? You drove up there with your kids.
Yeah.
We drove down here as kids.
Wow.
Well, we weren't kids, but we were the
But
kids
that
to
was,
the old folks.
That was... Yes, that's what made it hard. Is that we were with 4 old folks.
That's right, because my aunt and uncle was here.
And on top of that, we're hauling a U-Haul with a trailer that has a car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not exactly the fastest drive we ever made.
No. I mean...
And with old people that
with
want to
old
stop.
people. Yes, every 5
Frequently.
seconds. Because the bladder's about to freaking... kaboom!
So, I wonder now, who's going to make the trip 10 years from now? And from where? And where to?
10 years from now... Oh, man. Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? Well, that's interesting.
Hopefully, I don't have to make a trip like that again. Dude, that's...
Did you drive straight through?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, well, yeah, you can say that because, I mean, we stopped to sleep for like about 3 hours.
In the car?
In the car. Oh, yeah. Yep. And we drove up there, we left Thursday.
Right.
Got there Friday morning around, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Checked into the hotel. Slept at the hotel. Checked out of the hotel Friday morning, and came back. Saturday morning. Right. Checked out Saturday morning. Damn. So it was no vacation. It was just literally just to drive our daughter up there and us have to drive back because I told my wife I gotta do this damn podcast today.
That's a ton of driving, man.
That's a lot of driving, bro.
That's a long, long drive.
Yes.
I remember it with Mom and Dad and the U-Haul.
It sucked because, I mean, you damn near put your foot through the bottom of the U-Haul because it wouldn't go any faster.
55.
That's it, 55.
That's all you could do. Oh man. Jeez. Isn't that something?
But it was a good time. We had fun. We didn't see her for a few months. And now we don't know how long it'll be since we'll see her again. So we got to spend some time with her, eat, and man.
That's
chill.
Cool.
So
that's always good, man. It's always good to spend time with the kids, especially when they're growing up and moving away and shit like that.
Yes.
It's a shame they don't stay home forever.
They can stay, in a close.
It's really
at some point I want to, be able to walk in my boxers and,
Hey, let's not put that visual out there.
Well, no.
There goes that one listener. There goes that one YouTube subscription.
You know what I meant.
It is kind of a weird thing, right? Like, you raise them and you want them to leave, and then when they leave, you're like, damn, I wish they were a little bit closer.
Yes.
That's a little too far.
Yeah.
It's the dichotomy of being a parent.
Yeah. They're going to have to visit us. We're not driving and flying and all that. By the way, the Steelers have tied the Ravens. The Steelers were down 14-0 early.
The Ravens started off like gangbusters, but so I take it you want to talk NFL?
We could. Yes.
Life is starting to look a little more normal in the NFL.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't know that it is.
A little more normal than it was last week or 2 weeks ago. I feel like the crazy stuff is starting to come back to normal. Like the Patriots look like the Patriots today. right?
Yeah.
And they're 2-2, but that game killed two anomalies, right? The Patriots look like the Patriots, and the Dolphins look like the Dolphins.
Yes.
They were 3-0. They got absolutely murdered.
Well, you just knew after that Sunday night game against the Lions.
Yeah.
And now you're coming back home to
Right, but my point is that it's starting to look a little more normal, right?
Yeah.
It looked weird to see Miami at 3-0 and New England 2 games back.
Right.
And I know it's early in the season, but it looked weird. The other thing that looked weird was Tampa Bay.
Are we still on the Fitzmagic bus?
No, I think the Fitzmagic bus is over.
I think it's done.
Yeah, I think it's done. They took him out at halftime, brought in Jameis Winston. Not that it made any difference because at that point I think it was already 40-0.
Do you think the game or the team's performance that they had last week against the Steelers on Monday night and this week, today, Sunday, do you think it had any indication as to where Tampa Bay was headed to? Because I think they were sold on, okay, Winston is going to play again, and that's going to be...
Yeah, no,
I
agree.
I don't think the players were for that.
No, I don't think the players were for that, but I think the coaching staff knew and fully expects this downturn from Fitzpatrick. Now, look, the entire team played terrible today. It's not fair to put it on Fitzpatrick today. But the fact of the matter is that he's not as good of a quarterback as Jameis Winston is. And Jameis Winston is the future of that franchise, whether you like it or not. Regardless of how good Fitzpatrick played. It's very similar to the Foles-Wentz situation in Philly. And I'm just not... I don't place all of the blame on Fitzpatrick for last Monday and for today, but I think we're starting to get more of what Fitzpatrick is, and you have to go with Jameis Winston. And quite frankly, that team is still not good.
No.
So, Jameis Winston or not, I'm not expecting them to be a 10-win team.
No, and well, I guess we all expected this, right?
Fitzpatrick has been Fitzpatrick.
And it's
for
the
this
Bucks.
long, and the Bucks, right? It's just the way.
Which is a shame because they have like 2 good wide receivers. They got a good tight end.
Yeah.
But
not much of an offensive line, not much of a running game, not much of a defense. What are the other surprises? Now the surprises that continue to surprise: Tennessee pulled out a win today against Philly. They're 3-1. Philly's 2-2, but I still think Philly's the best team in that division. I genuinely do not see a challenger to Philly in that division.
I think all those teams are mediocre. I think it's really anyone's division at this point. Because the Cowboys are 2-2 also.
I think the Cowboys, Giants, and Redskins are more mediocre than the Eagles. I don't
say that when
I don't think the Eagles are 13-3 good. But I think they're 10-6 good.
You can't say that because they're mediocre. They're 2-2.
I think everyone else in that division is 8-8 at best.
The Eagles and the Cowboys right now would finish 8-8.
Right now,
they're mediocre.
Right, but the Eagles will end up with 10 wins at least, if not 11. And I don't think anyone else in that division is worth a damn. The Giants.
I think it's going to be closer than what you think.
The Giants made a terrible New Orleans defense look decent today.
16 points, or 18 points, whatever it was.
Yeah, they were talking.
Every team has scored.
They were talking on TV about how good the Saints defense looked, and they needed this type of performance. Look, everyone's going to look good when you can run through that Swiss cheese offensive line. Eli Manning can't throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field. There's no deep threat.
He actually looked okay today.
It's not him. He looks fine.
No, but
that offensive line does nothing. Even Barkley has a hard time running behind that.
The defense. The defense kept the team in the game. Kept the Giants in the game. They didn't have a bad game. But every other team has scored 30 or more points against the Saints this year, and then the Giants come up and score freaking 18.
Because they just don't have the offensive weapons. They've got the weapons. They just don't have any. You can have receivers and a good running back and a decent quarterback, but if you've got an offensive line that can't pass block, can't run block, what the hell can they do?
Well, I don't know.
That's going to be a problem. And the Cowboys played well today, but again, the Cowboys are doing exactly what I said they would do before the season started. They're an 8-8 team. They played terrible. They played great. They played terrible. They played great. That's what we're going to get all season long, and I don't trust the Redskins any further than I can throw them.
The only one in the division didn't lose today.
That's because they got a bye week.
That's right.
The Packers look decent today, but it was against Buffalo. And even then, not great. 22 points against a Buffalo team that's not that good. And against a quarterback with a 29 rating.
Yeah.
You got to, if a quarterback can only muster a 29 rating and they're not running the crap out of the ball, how do you not have more than 22 points?
That team's a mess. I don't understand how they won last week. I don't understand.
I don't understand that either.
And then the Vikings lose again this week against the Rams.
But this week it was against the Rams.
Yeah.
The Rams look like the real deal.
All they needed was one stop.
The Rams look like the real deal.
All the Vikings needed was one stop.
And they couldn't get it. The Rams look for real. And the other team that's looking pretty good, which, again, this is a little bit of a surprise, but it's hard to fall off the floor. The Browns look good.
Yeah, they're competing.
They went out to Oakland, went into overtime again, and unfortunately they lost. But, they put up 42 points. So it's not Baker Mayfield. So apparently they figured something out on offense, albeit against the Raiders, which is not the best defense in the world. But
I would like to see them tie again.
I was rooting for the tie hard. There were a bunch of games that went into overtime.
Because then they would have been 1-0-2?
No, they would have been 1-1-2.
1-1-2. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. There were several games that went into overtime.
Yeah?
I was rooting for ties in all of them. I want to see a team be like 3-6-7.
I wonder if there's ever been a two ties in one season.
Yeah, for one team.
Yeah, for one team.
I'm sure there has.
Huh.
I'm sure there's been 2, maybe even 3. But I want to see someone get to like 7.
That would suck. They would change the overtime rules if that ever happened. If someone got to 3, they would change the overtime rules.
I don't think so.
Are you okay with these overtime rules?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like sudden death better. First team that scores, that's it. Because now they play all the way through.
Well, no, they don't. So it's sudden death unless the first team
it's a field goal.
Kicks a field goal, in which case then the other team gets a possession. If they kick a field goal, then it becomes sudden death.
Well, no, because the Eagles played all the way to almost the end, and
only because it took for freaking ever. Because it's only 10 minutes. It's not 15.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm okay with the rules. I don't want them to change them anymore. If they do change them, I would want them to change them to the college rule. And maybe instead of the 25, you start on the 50.
They won't do that.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that. But I would rather they do that than change the current rules.
That would affect stats and numbers and all that, right? Because it's
the way it is now, it affects stats.
Yeah, but they can possibly go on for 5 possessions each team.
Yeah.
And then you have somebody that throws 8 touchdowns in a game.
So I hate to say this, but
no.
Fantasy football.
No.
The NFL loves them some fantasy football.
No. I play fantasy football, but I'm not for that.
If there's ever a change to the overtime rules, the way they stand right now, don't be surprised if they go to the college. And then you're gonna get the one guy that had Aaron Rodgers and they went 5 overtimes and he threw 8 touchdown passes and scored 220 points in his PPR league.
And he won the week alone with just Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
No, I'm not for that. No way.
See, you're thinking about it from fantasy football perspective.
No, I just don't want to see. I don't want to see a 60-62.
Why not?
No.
Those are the best.
I'm not. No. I like a good old fashioned defensive game. I don't want to see.
Well, it's not going to happen all the time. In fact, it's probably
Yeah,
rarely
but-
going to happen. But hey, look,
I don't know. Ties overtime has
yeah,
happened.
yeah, but listen, how many times on a football Saturday have you been sitting around and all of a sudden you come across that game that's it's in double overtime already, and don't you just stop flipping channels and watch this stupid South Carolina Kentucky game that you don't even care about, but because they're in the second overtime, you're like, let's see how many overtimes this goes?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Everyone does that.
No.
Look, there's not one red-blooded American male who doesn't do that.
I bleed blue.
I do it. If I see a meaningless college football game is in double overtime, I stop flipping channels and I watch it because I want to see how many overtimes are they going to go, because I know they can go 4, 5, 8.
I think the most I've seen was 8.
Have you? I think the most I've seen is 6.
I think
And
8,
I loved every minute of it, bro.
I think 8 was the most that I've seen.
Absolutely. I got nothing done for like 3 hours, but I loved it.
Yeah, because they go on forever.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. Anyway, what else in the NFL? The Texans finally got a win.
Seriously, man. Look, that game last week, Bill O'Brien has to be on the hot seat.
I
Because
don't think he is.
he really should be. He's a very bad play caller.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Very bad play caller. I mean, Watson is healthy. Let him sling it. Let him do what he did at Clemson. You need to let him go.
Yeah, let him do his thing.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Let him freestyle it.
I agree with you, and I do think that is the problem with the Texans. Defensively, they're good. Offensively, they're good. It's the play calling to me, and he is treating Deshaun Watson with kid gloves, and I kind of understand it. You know, it's your quarterback, but
I mean, but he's diving for the end zone on some plays today, and I mean, he's healthy.
he's good, and he's good. But they finally got a win.
1-3.
1-3. It's a long road back, especially with Tennessee and Jacksonville at 3-1 in that division.
The division was pretty good.
So the division's tough, but it's early, and they get to play those teams. So they've already played Tennessee and lost, but they've got 2 against Jacksonville. They've got another one against Tennessee. That's 3 games right there that could really swing things in their favor. And of course, Jacksonville and Tennessee have to play each other. So that looks good. Seattle got a much-needed win. Arizona looks terrible. But again, they're going through the growing pains with a rookie quarterback.
Yep.
Nasty injury for Earl Thomas. The other one who had a nasty injury, which is going to affect you and your pick.
Yes.
Now,
Ephraim.
I give you a lot of grief over some of your picks.
Yes, I know.
Mostly because they're terrible.
I know.
You hit the nail on the head with Cincinnati. Wow.
Well,
Looking good at 3-1, and not a completely easy 3-1. Going into Atlanta's a good football team.
yeah.
And they played them play for play, pass for pass. I mean, it was a close game throughout. They pulled it out in the end, but the Eifert injury is critical for that team because they use him a lot, and it was nasty.
Man, that ankle.
Yeah, that thing is broken.
I thought the ankle was like in one spot and his leg was somewhere else.
Yeah, I thought he left it under that guy. I mean,
that was a pretty nasty injury.
Yeah, that's I'm sure that's a compound fracture, which is he's probably not back this season, but nasty. That's about it. And, well, back to Cincinnati. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, they look good. They look good
for now.
Everywhere.
For now.
They look good everywhere. And, I'm starting to wonder, with Pittsburgh going through their trials and tribulations, I don't think Baltimore's great. Cleveland up and coming. That's a tough division, and Cincinnati right now really looks like the best team in that division. Pittsburgh's got to move on from the Le'Veon Bell thing, and I think by saying that they're willing to trade him, I think now everyone's like, okay, he's gone. Let's just focus on us. And I think that's the best thing they can do, because that was the impression they gave off on Monday against Tampa Bay. They gave off the impression that they're not wondering if he's coming back. They're not trying to guess when he's going to come back. They're not listening to his comments about coming back. They're not talking about a comeback. Nothing. And they went out and they played a much better football game against Tampa Bay. They started slow tonight against Baltimore, but it's a rivalry game, and it's 14-14 now, and they're doing well. I think they've done the right thing. They could possibly here turn the corner. And who knows, if they get something good for Le'Veon Bell, even better.
Pittsburgh's not the type of team to go out there and sign a big-name free agent. Yeah. You might as well get him to sign this tender or the franchise tag and then just trade him and get anything back for him at this point.
I don't think they're going to care at this point. I think they are done with the Le'Veon Bell drama. Yeah. I think him not showing up, training camp was one thing. Once it started to affect games, and especially with them starting off 0-1-1 and getting their asses handed to them.
Well, and once you have the offensive line, the people who block for you talk, go back and forth and talk shit about you. It's a wrap. Yeah. You can't really mend those.
Yeah, I agree. And quite frankly, I think it's the right thing for them to do at this point and just move on. Because you're right. Once the offensive line doesn't want anything to do with you, or once the offensive line is pissed, that's not good.
No.
At that point.
Not good for locker room talk.
No, not at all. You got anything else, buddy?
What else? No. I think we're.
You got a shout out?
I got a shout out.
No way.
You know what? I don't have a shout out now because you sound a little surprised that I have a shout out.
Yeah, I'm surprised. We've done 38 of these episodes and you've got like 8 shout outs.
4 shout outs.
Anyway, go for it.
My shout out this week goes to I may have more than one maybe. I know,
Excellent.
watch out.
I love it.
No, my shout out goes to Joe Mauer, Hunter Pence, and David Wright. It looks like this is gonna be the end of their careers in baseball. Mauer put on some catching gear today and caught an inning, I think. David Wright got the send-off Saturday with the Mets, and Hunter Pence. It looked like they showed his last at bat, and he got the standing ovation. So I think 3 great careers for all 3 of them. Mauer goes down as probably one of the best hitting catchers that we've seen. David Wright played the game the right way. Never won a World Series, but he was a excellent teammate, very humble. And then Hunter Pence had a great career, and I think he won a World Series with the Giants.
Yeah.
He won with the Giants, played with the Phillies and the Astros, and had a very good career. So my shout out goes to them. And
not to rain on your shout out. Are any of those 3 guys Hall of Famers?
Joe Mauer definitely.
Yeah.
Joe Mauer definitely.
I agree. The other 2
borderline,
close, but not quite.
Borderline.
Yeah, not quite.
I hope David Wright makes it. I hope he makes it, but
I can't imagine he will.
But if I'm being a realist, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go on.
Yes. Good question though.
I agree with you.
And my other shout out goes to the state of Virginia. You're gonna have my daughter on a ship in the middle of the water, and we met some people out from Virginia. Ate some food in Virginia. It was. I liked the city. It was. I liked the state of Virginia. I like what I saw. Like how, just maybe it was the East Coast vibe. I don't know, but I enjoyed Virginia for the half a day maybe. But it was welcoming. So
good.
That's it. That's all you're getting out of me.
That sounds well. Hey, that's a lot. I'm stuffed with shout outs now. I feel like I just had Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, there you go. 2
shout outs in one episode. My shout out goes out to Francisco Molinari Francisco Molinari is an Italian golfer, was part of the European Ryder Cup team that won the Ryder Cup today. Europe beat the U.S., I believe it was 17.5 to 10.5. They started off slow on Friday morning, but then really picked it up Friday afternoon, and then again yesterday and today. They finished off the task of winning the Ryder Cup. And it's a team effort, right? There's 12 guys on the team, and they all play. Why Francisco Molinari? Francisco Molinari was the only person and the first European ever to go 5-0 in a Ryder Cup. So he played both matches on Friday with Fleetwood, and they won. Played both matches on Saturday with Fleetwood again, and won them both. And today he won his singles match. He is the first European to go 5-0. There have been 3 Americans that have gone 5-0, including Arnold Palmer. But he is the first. And in case you didn't know, he also won the British Open back in July. So he has had a monster year, and he was clutch in the pairings, in the best ball and alternate shot rounds on Friday and Saturday. He was very good. Made clutch putt after clutch putt, and he's had a fantastic year, and now he can call himself a Ryder Cup champion. So
sweet.
Hats off to him. As always, folks, we do this for you guys. We do it for us too. We have a lot of fun as well. If you want to get a hold of us and share your thoughts with us, please feel free to do so. You can email the show at positivesports10@gmail.com. positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of this guy, how do they do that?
As always, don't be a leader, be a follower on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho.
And if you want to follow me and interact with me, you can do so on Twitter as well at eMontana21. And with that, folks, we have come to the end of another wonderful episode of the Positive Sports Podcast, episode 39. Famous 39?
I have no clue. I don't know anyone.
The only one I could think of, Dominic Hasek, a great goaltender for the Detroit Red Wings in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. 90s and 2000s, I believe. I got a buddy from Detroit who will love that I flagged that. And with that, we've come to the end of another wonderful episode of the Positive Sports Podcast. As always, folks, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.